In the shadows of Nazi Germany, hidden deep within vaults of classified documents, was a plan so audacious, so terrifying, it sounds like science fiction. But it wasn't. The Nazis wanted to build a death ray, and they were serious. Show archival blueprint overlays. Cut to spinning radar dishes. Flashes of experimental tech. This wasn't some fantasy from a comic book. It was called the Sonnenwehr, the sun gun, a weapon designed to burn cities from orbit, and if they'd succeeded, the world as we know it would have ended differently. Dramatic zoom-ins on V-2 rockets, WWII headlines. By 1943, the Nazis were losing on every front. Desperate to reverse their fate, Hitler turned to the WWII, or wonder weapons. The V-2 rocket jet-powered fighters and stealth prototypes were just the beginning. But among these projects, buried in the files of the German Army's weapons office, was something far more radical. A space-based mirror 250 square meters wide, designed to harness the sun's energy and incinerate targets on Earth. Photograph of German scientist Hermann Oberth. Cut to swirling galaxy visuals. Meet Hermann Oberth, father of modern rocketry and mentor to Wernher von Braun. In 1929, long before the war, Oberth proposed using a space station equipped with a giant mirror to focus sunlight onto Earth. The idea used the power of the sun as a planetary-scale weapon. By 1941, his concept caught the attention of Nazi military command. They saw potential not for light, but for destruction. Cut to animated blueprint of a giant concave mirror in orbit, called the Sonnenwehr. This orbital death ray was to be constructed from a network of solar panels and mirrors, 1,000 kilometers above Earth. With German engineers theorizing it could be built in 50 to 100 years, they began drawing up designs complete with a crewed space station to operate it. The goal was to use concentrated sunlight to ignite enemy cities, boil oceans, or vaporize military bases. This wasn't just theoretical. Oberth detailed its mechanics in scientific papers. Real documents, real ambition. Cut to 3D animations of orbital mechanics reflecting sunlight. Imagine this: a concave mirror orbiting the Earth, slowly rotating to track targets, with a surface large enough to collect and focus gigawatts of solar energy far beyond any laser or bomb at the time. Once aligned, it would direct an intense beam of sunlight, 500 degrees Celsius to a single point on Earth. Theoretically, it could cause wildfires, blackouts, and mass destruction. A city turned to ashes without warning. From space, without a single plane in the sky. Switch to somber music. Show logistical diagrams, failed prototypes. But for all its terror, the Sonnenwehr had one fatal flaw. It was impossible at the time. To launch a space station in the 1940s was like asking a caveman to build a satellite. Germany had no rockets powerful enough, no materials light enough, and no technology precise enough to construct such a system. It was a dream built on fantasy. A terrifying one, yes, but a fantasy nonetheless. Cut to U.S. intelligence files. Newspaper clippings about Nazi superweapons. Still, Allied intelligence wasn't taking chances. In late 1944, the Oz, the predecessor to the CIA, intercepted rumors of Nazi research into space weapons. They knew about von Braun, about the V-2. Could they have also feared something more? President Roosevelt commissioned reports on exotic weaponry, including speculative energy beams. The idea of Nazi Germany having a planet-scorching space mirror wasn't entirely dismissed. Cut to 1950s space race NASA footage. Operation Paperclip visuals. When the war ended, the US and USSR scrambled to capture Nazi scientists. Oberth von Braun. Many of them ended up in NASA, shaping America's space program. And in the Cold War years, guess what? Resurfaced. Orbital mirrors, directed energy weapons, solar reflectors. The Nazi blueprint became the seed for real research. Sonnenwehr lived on not as a Nazi victory, but as a cautionary idea reborn in the space age. Cut to DARPA tests. Today, the idea of space-based solar weapons is no longer fiction. China is developing orbiting solar panels. The US Air Force has tested directed energy from space platforms, and DARPA is exploring weaponized satellites. None of this would exist without those haunting first designs dreamed up under a regime driven by power and desperation. The Nazi death ray failed, but its ghost still lingers. In our skies, cue slow zoom on Earth from orbit. Calm but ominous music. Narrator, a Nazi death ray sounds like a Hollywood script. But it wasn't. It was real ink on real paper, funded, drafted, and studied by real men. In the race for global domination, the Nazis imagined a weapon to burn the world. With sunlight, and they weren't so far off. If this shocked you, wait until you hear about the Nazi Time Machine Project. Yes, that's real too. Subscribe, stay curious, stay alert. Let me know if you want a version with visuals, cues, sound design notes, or image prompts for AI video generation.